Mostly, we use cryptography in network security principles. In present day scenario, security of the system is the sole priority of any organization. The main aim of any organization is to protect their data from the attackers. In cryptography, attacks are two types. It's the passive attacks and the active attacks. I would like to talk about the difference between them. Active attacks are the type of attacks in which the attacker efforts to change the or modify the content of messages and then send it to the receiver. Uh, Active attacks is dangerous to integrity as well as availability of the message. Due to the active attack system is always damaged and the system resources can be changed. The most important thing is that in an active attack, the victim gets informed about the attack. In passive attack, passive attacks are the type of the attacks in which the attacker observes the content of messages or copies the content of messages. Passive attack is a danger of the confidentiality of secret information inside the message. Due to the passive attack, there is no harm to the system. The most important thing is that in passive attack, victim does not get informed about the attack. That's why we call that passive attack. What about the difference between active attack and the passive attack? In an active attack, modification in information takes place, but in passive attack, modification in the information does not take place. Active attack is danger to integrity as well as availability. In that case, passive attack is danger to confidentiality. In an active attack, attention is on prevention, while in passive attack, attention is on detection. Due to active attacks, the execution system is always damaged, while due to the passive attack, there is no harm to the system. In an active attack, victim gets informed about the attack, while the passive attack, victim does not get informed about the attack. In an active attack, system resources can be changed, while in passive attack, system resources are not changing. Active attacks influences to the services of the system, while in passive attack, information and the messages in the system are or network are accurate. In an active attack, information collected through passive attacks is used during execution, while passive attacks are performed by collecting information such as passwords and the messages by themselves. And an active attack is so the restrict from entering system or networks. Passive attack is easy to prohibit in comparison of to active attack. Active attack can be easily detected. Passive attack very difficult to detect. The purpose of active attack is to harm the ecosystem. The purpose of passive attack is to learn about the ecosystem. In an active attack, the original information is modified. In passive attack, original information is unaffected. The duration of active attack is short. The duration of the passive attack is long. The prevention possibility of active attack is high. The prevention possibility of passive attack is low. Complexity is high in active attack, while in passive attack complexity is low. Let's continue with the asymmetric encryption. As we know that um, public key encryption we use in the asymmetric encryption. That's why we will talk about asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric encryption, also known as public key cryptography, is a type of encryption that uses a pair of keys to encrypt and decrypt data. The pair of keys includes a public key, which can be shared with anyone, and a private key, which is kept secret by the owner. In asymmetric encryption, the sender uses the recipient public key to encrypt the data. The recipient then uses their private key to decrypt the data. The approach allows for secure communication between two parties without the need for both parties to have the same secret key. Asymmetric encryption has several advantages over symmetric encryption, which uses the same key for both encryption and the decryption. One of the main advantages is that it eliminates the need of to exchange secret keys, which can be challenging process, especially when communicating with multiple parties. Additionally, asymmetric encryption allows for the creation of digital signatures which can be used to verify the authenticity of data. Asymmetric encryption is commonly used in various applications, including secure online communication, digital signatures, and the secure data transfer. Examples of asymmetric encryption algorithms include RSA, Diffie-Hellman, and the elliptic curve cryptography. Asymmetric encryption, commonly known as public key cryptography, employs two distinct keys for encryption and the decoding. The private key is a separate key from the public key that is kept private by the owner of the public key, while the public key is made available to everyone. Anyone can encrypt a message using the public key, but only the holder of the private key can unlock it, with no chance of the communication being intercepted and read by the third party. Anyone can send a secure message to the public key's owner. Asymmetric encryption is frequently used for secure internet communication, including email encryption, e-commerce, or in the online banking. Digital signatures, which are used to confirm the legitimacy of digital documents and the messages, are another application for it. Let's talk about the advantages of asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric encryption, also known as public key cryptography, is a method of cryptography that uses two different keys to encrypt and decrypt data. There are some advantages of asymmetric encryption. First advantage is enhanced security. Asymmetric encryption provides a higher level of security compared to symmetric encryption, where only one key is used for both encryption and the decryption. With asymmetric encryption, a different key is used for each process, and the private key used for decryption is kept secret by the receiver, making it harder for an attacker to intercept and decrypt the data. First thing, authentication. Asymmetric encryption can be used for authentication purposes, which means that the receiver can verify the sender's identity. This is achieved by the sender encrypting a message with their private key, which can only be decrypted with their public key. If the receiver can successfully decrypt the message, it proves that it was sent by the sender who has the corresponding private key. Non-repudiation. Asymmetric encryption also provides non-repudiation, which means that the sender cannot deny sending a message or altering its contents. This is because the message is encrypted with the sender's private key, and only their public key can decrypt it. Therefore, the receiver can be sure that the message was sent by the sender and has not been tampered with. Key distribution. Asymmetric encryption eliminates the need for a secure key distribution system that is required in symmetric encryption. With symmetric encryption, the same key is used for both encryption and the decryption, and the key needs to be securely shared between the sender and the receiver. Asymmetric encryption, on the other hand, allows the public key to be shared openly, and the private key is kept secret by the receiver. Versatility. Asymmetric encryption can be used for a wide range of applications, including secure email communication, online banking transaction, and e-commerce. It's also used to secure SSL, TCL connections, which are commonly used to secure internet traffic. Overall, the use of asymmetric encryption offers enhanced security, authentication, non-repudiation, key distribution, and the versatility. These advantages make it a widely used and effective method for protecting sensitive data in various applications. Let's talk about the example of asymmetric encryption. Email communication is one way to show asymmetric encryption in action. Let's say Alice and Bob have a public-private key pair, and Alice wishes to send Bob an encrypted message. Using Bob's public key, Alice encrypts her message before sending it to him. Bob uses his private key to decrypt the message after receiving it encrypted. For instance, Alice composes and encrypts an email for Bob using Bob's public key. She follows up by sending Bob the encrypted email. After receiving the email, Bob uses his private key to decrypt it so that it may be read. As a result, Alice can communicate Bob securely without being concerned